The weirdest thing about this keyboard is that it becomes more useful the less you try to use it like a keyboard. This is the Womier SK30, and I don't think this makes sense as a normal keyboard review because the idea here is not to replace your setup, it's to add to it. It's the keyboard you put next to your keyboard. So the real question is not, is this a good keyboard? The question here is, does a tiny companion keyboard actually make your setup better? Let's find out. Inside the box, you get the mini keyboard itself, a wireless dongle, extra switches, optional keycaps, and a USB-C cable. So the SK30 is a 30% wireless mechanical keyboard. It has 30 keys in ANSI 30% layout, a multimedia knob and screen, tri-mode connectivity, and it works with Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. Plus it comes with a 3000 milliamp hour battery. Physically, it's just a shrunken down mechanical keyboard. It has hot swap support for 3 and 5 pin switches, south-facing RGB, gasket mounting, and Womier's POM switches. For me, the best way to think about this is as a physical shortcut pad. You could use it for media controls, volume, mute, app switching, editing shortcuts, streaming shortcuts, Photoshop tools, timeline controls, or macros you use all the time but don't want to bury under layers. For a normal keyboard, shortcuts are technically already there, but I gotta say there's a different feeling when you have a device on your desk that says, these are my controls. So if your workflow has a lot of repetitive actions, I think the SK30 becomes really interesting. It can turn those repeated tasks into muscle memory and make your setup feel a lot more efficient. It's kind of like giving your desk a small physical control panel, and it may sound unnecessary until you use those same 5 commands 50 times a day, and then it starts to make a lot more sense. For me personally, as a gamer, I like to use a compact board, but I also do editing and productivity work on my machine, and the SK30 gives me back some of that lost functionality without permanently taking up desk space. I can hide it off the desktop when I'm gaming and bring it back when I do need those extra controls, so it's very convenient with it being Wi-Fi. One of my favorite things about the SK30 is the sound. It has a really satisfying higher end stocky sound profile. Here's what it sounds like. All that being said, the elephant in the room is most people are not going to need this thing. If your desk is simple, your workflow is simple, or you already like everything on your main keyboard, this might just become another thing taking up space. And because it is a 30% layout, it is not something I would recommend as a normal everyday keyboard unless you somehow specifically enjoy tiny layouts and a bunch of layers. The SK30 makes the most sense when you already know what jobs you want to give it. And without that, it can almost feel like buying a solution and then trying to invent the problem afterwards. So, who is the SK30 for? I think it's for people who already have a main keyboard they like, especially gamers with smaller layouts, but maybe want a second layer of physical controls. It's for editors, streamers, creators, power users, people with laptop setups, or anyone who wants a small wireless board they can move around the desk pretty easily. Because it does have tri-mode connectivity, makes it very easy to treat as a flexible desk accessory instead of being committed to a permanent part of a setup. And because it supports Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android, it has more room to be used across devices than a lot of PC-specific desktop accessories. Overall, the Womier SK30 is not a keyboard I would tell everyone to buy, but I do think it is a lot more interesting than it looks at first. It's not trying to win by replacing your main keyboard. It wins if it makes the small repeated parts of your day feel smoother. So the real test is simple. Can you name 5 shortcuts or controls you would put on this before buying it? If yes, the SK30 could genuinely be a useful little companion for you. If not, it'll probably just become a really cool looking desk accessory. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope it was helpful. If this helped you make a decision on a purchase, please consider using the affiliate links down below. It really helps support the channel and helps me continue bringing you reviews like this. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.